Hello everyone, and today I will present about my e-portfolio. Okay, here you will see my About Me page, and my name is Dinsen Patrick, and I'm 20 years old from Faculty of Engineering, and I'm from Teram Sabah. A little bit about myself. I have always liked the English language since I was a little kid. I used to watch YouTube videos for fun, and surprisingly, it has helped me to improve my English. By finishing this course, I hope that I can further improve my English overall. Okay, moving to why I choose this title. I want more people to know about mental illness, especially dissociative identity disorder. As you can see later in my essay, child abuse is the main cause of dissociative identity disorder. So, by reading this essay, parents will avoid abusing their child and from increasing the patient of this type of mental illness. Okay, here you will see some artifact. This website is about the dangers of child abuse to mental health of children. Here it tells that many patients that have mental illness have been abused in their childhood. Okay, moving to artifacts and reflection. My first artifact is this YouTube video. The YouTuber, which is also a person suffers from dissociative identity disorder, tells her experience with dissociation that occurs in her daily life. I hope that people see this video to increase their awareness about this mental illness and emphasize the importance of good mental health to everyone. Okay, the next is this artifact. This is a set of famous people that have this type of mental illness. The first is Roseanne Cherry Barr, which is an American actress, comedian, and also a writer. And next is Adam Frederick Lewis, and finally this Herschel Walker. Okay, there are famous people who have this mental illness. Despite having this mental illness, they do not stop to, to achieve their dreams, and as a result, they have become a quite successful people. Okay, moving to the next artifact is this picture. Okay, this picture is an artist's illustration of a person with multiple personalities, and I hope that this picture will help other people to visualize this mental illness and understand more about this. Okay, moving to the final essay, we read the thesis statement. This essay will discuss the causes of a person having dissociative identity disorder and symptoms of it, as well as the treatment that can be used to cure this type of mental illness. Okay, for the background paragraph, dissociative identity disorder is mainly caused by child abuse. So, a child that have been abused are more likely to have this type of mental illness. Okay, next, move to the symptoms of this mental illness. Dissociative identity disorder happens when an individual have more than one personality states that take turns to control the person behavior. Each of these personality states will occupy the consciousness of the individual to control the individual. We go to the treatments that can be used to cure this type of mental illness. Okay, fortunately, there are treatments that can be done to cure this mental illness. There are no established medication treatments for dissociative identity disorder, making psychologically based approaches the main way of therapy. There are two therapies that can be used. The first is psychotherapy, or known as talk therapy, and next is hypnotherapy. Okay, that's all for me, and thank you for watching.
Hi, madam. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today I will present to you regarding my e-portfolio, which is living with social anxiety. Imagine walking around the cafe with your food, and then people stare at you, and you start to think that they insulting you because you don't look good, or you are so skinny, or because your hairstyle isn't good enough for them. Have you ever think of it? Yes, that is what we call social anxiety. But before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Pangeran Muhammad Rafi Raymond bin Adajalin alias Ismail, and I'm from Section 8. My field of study is chemical engineering, and my personality is very talkative and also very energetic. So why did I choose this title? So let's take a look at those two photos. They are smiling, right? So this indicates that they are happy. But only themselves know deep down how they feel. So this is what I want to talk about regarding mental illness, which is common in today's hectic environment. However, many people not aware of it due to the negative stigma that had been going around for so long. So me myself had a negative stigma towards people who suffer from mental illness, that they are faking it to get attention, until I realized how dangerous it is. So after going to some research throughout the internet, I found out that I have also had been experiencing anxiety since I was little. And thankfully that it is not that troublesome towards my life. So the purpose of this essay is to help to put on a stop on the negative stigma, and also most importantly to spread awareness in our society regarding the danger of mental health issues. So here are some videos on what it's like to have a mental illness, so that you can imagine what are they struggling with day by day. So let's take a look at artifact and reflection, which helped me to build up my essay. So here one organization that I found which helped people suffer from mental illness, which is National Institute of Mental Health. So I've came across this website which contain a lot of infos regarding health topics, latest mental health issues and discussion, and also many type of treatment and also disorder that they are giving to you. So this federal agency helps in spreading awareness by giving info regarding mental health topics and how can you get treatment for it. So this website helps me a lot to build up my essay. So I also came across a video on YouTube in which a YouTuber named Matt realized that he had an anxiety which affect his daily life. He tries to have an open conversation with his subscriber, which is one of the way method for anxiety treatment, which is open conversation, which is he's trying to do. And also he is trying to spread awareness to those who suffer from anxiety, that they are not alone. There are also many people experience anxiety, and they want to give strength for those who need them. So from this video, I learned that we can't discriminate or judge people just because we don't know how they feel, or we don't know what they're struggling with day by day. And we need to have an awareness in this kind of thing. So I also came across a statistic in form of this picture, which is from World Health Organization in 2012 and 2017, in which let's take a look at the suicidal behavior in 2012 to 2018, which increased rapidly, and also state of adolescents mental health in Malaysia is 1 of 5 of them is depressed, 2 in 5 anxious, and 1 in 10 is stressed. So this shows how mental illness is a serious disorder that can affect to any any range of age in this today's era. So here are some quotes. So let's take a look at the completed essay. So in this essay, I will deeply discuss how mental disorder mainly anxiety can affect one's life, and then we break up into the causes that trigger the symptom, and what are they experiencing, and also the different treatment for anxiety disorder. So the main treatment also, no, no. So how anxiety can affect our life? It can affect every aspect, include our body, relationship, work, friends, and also family. And what trigger the anxiety? A person anxiety may be provoked to public speaking, eating, being in a large center of attention, because all anxiety people who have anxiety do is worried about what people think of them. So that's why they don't like in that kind of situation. So symptoms, can have six common symptoms, including easily fatigue, difficult concentrating. So one of the common treatment is cognitive behavioral therapy, which is CBT. So in conclusion, anxiety can affect one's life and also have causes that triggers the anxiety symptoms that they are experiencing, and so treatment for anxiety disorder is also available. So anxiety is not just something you feel when you're new in situation, and we and mental health should be treated with much more caution to avoid any serious disorder that can affect your future. So here are some reference I I listed using alphabet. So this is all for me. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Lester Jason, and today I will be presenting my e-portfolio regarding my topic, which is depression. Before I start, let me briefly introduce a little bit of myself. I am a first-year student at University Malaysia Sabah. My field of study is chemical engineering, and generally I like English. Even though my English isn't that very advanced, I do like to write in English, despite I'm not that very fluent when speaking in that language. Therefore, I hope to learn more in this class in order to improve my skills. So, moving on for the reasons for why I chose this title. As a student, I have to face a lot of assignments and course-related studies. So, it is inevitable for me or students to feel stressed at times. Uh, I've read on social media that there have been a few cases where students have become depressed due to the inability to adapt on campus life. So this matter is serious as it can cause harm to the student itself and also people surrounding them. So this topic is to spread awareness of depression, especially for those who are vulnerable of this mental illness, such as myself. So before moving on to the solution of my essay, I will briefly talk about the artifacts and reflections that I found while doing my essay. So the first artifact is about this video. So this video, depression is described as the leading cause of disability in the world. So I've watched this video beforehand in order to further understand my topic of my essay. Through this, I've learned many things about this mental illness, such as the differences between having depression and just feeling depressed. So moving on to the second artifact, which is this website from WHO. So in this website, it says that it said that with more than 264 million people affected, depression is without a doubt a serious mental condition. So based from the data from the data by WHO, close to 800,000 people die due to suicide every year. This has made me realize how important it is for society to be aware of the situation and how we as an individual should help those who suffer from this mental illness. Last but not least, the next artifact that I found is this journal. So while I was looking up for information about one of the solutions for treating depression, I came across with this journal about the assessment of psychotherapy. So through this journal, I've learned that some psychiatrists often has a perceptional bias towards the treatments, causing more difficulties in treating patients who suffers depression. Now let's move on to my essay. So this essay will discuss about the symptoms, causes, and treatments that is required in order to cure this type of mental illness, meaning depression. So the main solution for my topic is about psychotherapy. So psychotherapy is a general term for treating depression by talking to you, about your condition and related issues with a mental health professional. So psychotherapy is also known as talk therapy or psychological therapy. So for many people, this type of treatment has proven to have more lasting results than psychotropic medication, which is due to the fact that psychotherapy teaches patients coping skills, meaning it can help them identify inaccurate or negative thinking and give the necessary tools to challenge and replace this belief. Uh, the strength of my solution: when compared to antidepressants, psychotherapy has a few psychological side effects. So this matter is an important consideration, especially for older adults who often taking more than one type of medication. Subsequently, psychotherapy is also not addictive, meaning patients will not suffer from withdrawal effect like antidepressants do. In short, psychotherapy should be the first line of treatment for cases of mild depression. The weaknesses of my solution. Psychotherapy typically takes longer than drug therapy to produce benefits, which are noticeable to the person receiving treatments. Results of the treatments can only be noticed after 6 to 8 weeks or even longer when compared with 4 to 6 weeks for medication. Moreover, the psychotherapist is the producer of the treatment and therefore responsible, if not liable, for all negative effects, which may result in a perceptual bias towards their positive rather than negative effects. So this is the one that I found from the journal. In short, psychotherapy alone is not effective for people with severe depression or bipolar disorder. So for conclusion, primary care physicians should provide compassionate care, important education, psychiatric monitoring, social support, reassurance, and advocacy for these patients and their loved ones. So with that, I am closing my presentation. Thank you.
Hello, today I will present my e-portfolio entitled Schizophrenia: Symptoms, Causes, and Treatment. For the introduction, my name is Muhammad Ridwan bin Rashid. I am from Faculty of Engineering and my field of study is in oil and gas engineering. There are many reasons as to why I enjoy studying English. The major one is that it enhanced my communication skills. Ever since my childhood, I really love singing, especially English songs. Now I have my own band named Sonata. Memorizing and singing English songs really helps me improve my pronunciation and reading. So I developed a habit of reading and listening to music. As my reading skills get polished through English, it helps me in other subjects too. As I grow older, I am able to communicate in English with people confidently. Why I choose this title? Schizophrenia is one of the common mental disorder that is still unknown to many. A person have 1% of chance of suffering this disease in a lifetime. Symptoms of schizophrenia begin to appear in the age of 15 and 30 years old. Thus, I want to raise the awareness of schizophrenia to the public so that a person who suffers from schizophrenia can immediately get the right treatment before things get worse. For the first artifact is about Mrs. Valerie Liu. When she was 20 years old, she heard voices in her head, and she thought she was a deity with superpowers that allowed her to talk with television and radio. Hmm. She rec- After she received a proper treatment and gradually recovered, now she rarely hears them, thanks to the right medication, counseling, and support from health professionals and also her mother. For the second artifact is about a woman named Aisha. She has schizophrenia also. In this video, she shared about the reality of how she accepts that she has schizophrenia. Her story is very motivating and encourages people to see a specialist if they show the early signs of schizophrenia. And my third artifact is about an American rapper named Aaron Carter. In a talk called The Doctor, he shared about his truth and revealed that he has schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and anxiety. This has a huge impact on society, on awareness of mental health. So what is schizophrenia? Schizophrenia is types of mental disorder that cause individual impaired relation to reality. This makes it difficult for them to distinguish between reality and illusion. So, a person who suffered from schizophrenia might show some types of symptoms which are hallucination, um, bizarre behavior, and confused thought. And a solution for that is a person need to go to the psychological therapy. Psychological therapy or talk therapy is the use of psychological method based on regular iteration with a person to help improve resolve troublesome thoughts, emotions, or social skills. The second solution is by using antipsychotic drug. Antipsychotic drugs will help control the chemical reaction in the brain and reduce the symptoms of schizophrenia such as hallucination and delusion. And lastly is rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is a highly person-centered health strategy that may be delivered either through specialized rehabilitation programs or integrated into other health programs and services such as mental health, vision, and hearing programs. That's all for me.
Assalamualaikum and good day I bid to everyone. Today I would like to humbly introduce my homepage which is about post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. Before we start, let me briefly introduce myself first. My name is Muhammad Zulfadli bin Rizam. I am the first year student studying in oil and gas engineering at University Malaysia Sabah. I love to explore the sources from our Mother Earth, which is why I choose this field apart from making money from my future. I also like English cause generally as I learn to communicate directly in English from this course. I hope to gain more knowledge in order to improve my communication skill which will be very essential in the near future. Moving on to my topic, PTSD. Why I choose PTSD as my homepage title. Basically, I feel that this topic is close to me as one of my friend is actually showing the symptom that mimic this condition. Back in 2004, my hometown, which located at Kota Kuala Muda, Kedah, was tragically hit by the natural disaster, which they are calling tsunami. That unforgettable event caused about 11 died in my village, including my friend's little brother. Starting from that point, my friend became trauma and he cannot afford to go near the sea. He also sometimes looked like a depressed person. I hope by exploring this condition, more thoroughly can help me to understand it. I also help them I am able suggestion some treatment option to his parent in order to help him moving forward in his life again. Next, I will explain about some artifacts that I put inside my homepage. The first artifact is a video about the signs and a symptom of PTSD, which explained by Lee Held. It also elaborates on the nature of the condition, which usually happen after a violent event, a natural disaster, an accident or after die of a loved one. This video also discuss about how PTSD affect the everyday life of the patient. In our country itself, PTSD is actually not uncommon anyone. One of the famous hip-hop singer Zenakal also was recently diagnosed with PTSD and received medical treatment. This explains my artifact, which in a music video by this PTSD survivor, which the lyric he wrote himself to tell the world about his condition. Moving on the second artifact, we discuss more thoroughly about how the condition progress starting from symptom, who doctor diagnose them and give the treatment holistically. Apart from that, it also includes demographic data of PTSD in the community, such as female having higher tendency to be diagnosed with PTSD, as they literally have higher exposure to violence. The third artifact will be a sharing from a medical institute about one of most effective treatment for PTSD patient. It is an evidence-based treatment which called cognitive processing therapy or CPT. In this treatment approach, the doctor tries to change the patient mindset to enable them moving on from their starting point, the start point. The bottom line of this treatment is small changes in taking can have a big impact on how you feel. Now, let us moving on to my essay about this condition. The purpose of this writing is to explore the characteristic of PTSD and the approach that should be done to treat this mental illness. The main idea of the solution, the treatment of patient with PTSD is a combination with the psychotherapy or counseling and medication. Both treatment must be optimized to ensure that the patient can fight the illness and make a progress in their daily life. The approach to PTSD will usually start with psychotherapy in which tolerate to manage the trauma. Apart from that, medication also need to be included as one of the crucial part in the treating the PTSD patient. Among the medication that have been available, a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor such as paroxetine is commonly used. Serotonin reuptake inhibitor also help treat depression, anxiety, and sleep problem, symptoms that are often linked to PTSD. In conclusion, PTSD is one of the mental conditions which need medical attention in order to help the patient moving forward in his or her life. Family, member, friend, and society should not ignore this condition and help each other to support the patient. Thank you for lending me your eyes.